The first bill on the calendar for the day is House File 3426. The Chief Clerk will report the bill.
House File number 3426, an act relating to natural resources, appropriating money from Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund.
I recognize the author of the bill, Representative Jordan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is the annual LCCMR bill that uses funds from the Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund, which is funded with proceeds from the lottery. This year, the LCCMR bill funds 108 projects totaling $102.036 million, and none of that comes from the general fund. It also funds the newly created Community Grants Program. The LCCMR funds environmental projects in every corner of this state. We fund projects in resiliency, water, outdoor recreation, fish and wildlife, and energy. I want to take a moment to thank all the members of the LCCMR, in particular our citizen members, and I especially want to thank LCCMR Director Rebecca Nash and her entire staff, Aaron Barton, Lisa Biagoet, Mike Campana, Tom Dietrich, Noah Fribley, Diana Griffith, Tiffany Schaufer, Ajiv Shah, and Michael Varian. 82% of Minnesotans voted yes for these programs when it was on the ballot in 2024. Minnesotans love investing in our natural resources, scientific research, and playing outside. I encourage your support and can answer any questions.
There are no amendments at the desk. Chief Clerk will give the bill its third reading.
Third reading, House File number 3426.
Third reading. I recognize the member from Ramsey, Representative Fisher.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of the bill. This is a great bill. I appreciate Representative Jordan bringing this forward. I want to say thank you to Co-Chair Heintzeman for the work that we've done. We've got a great integrity piece here. One of the things I do want to raise, and we talked about it a little bit at our last meeting, is we did make one change for a group out there that had misused, made a false claim of support on the LCCMR logo. And one of the things we did, we ended up cutting funding to the group, and I think that might have been a little severe because the primary purpose of the grant was to help educate 12,000 kids and get them exposed to the outdoors, kids that typically aren't out there. So what I would ask as we move into the conference committees, give thought as another appropriate way where we maybe can do some funding to help the kids out there, but also make sure we take the logo very seriously. We want to make sure it's properly used, so there needs to be some kind of penalty. I'd like to see something that's a little bit more appropriate to the violation. Otherwise, I do support a very strong green vote for this and continue conversations. Thank you.
I recognize the member from Crow Wing, Representative Heintzeman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I'd like to start by echoing the thanks that Rep. Jordan was expressing for those that have worked hard at the LCCMR to support the process and get us through all of the project presentations and the information that was provided to us as members of the LCCMR. I would like to highlight for members a couple of things that I think shouldn't be novel, but unfortunately are, and I think that we did do some especially good work. Chair Fisher and I and members of the committee making sure that as we stand up a new program here in Minnesota, that we're forward-thinking in our approach to that and making sure that there are not loopholes there or opportunity there for fraudsters. One of the things that we did right out of the gate is we invited in the OLA and we asked the auditor, hey, what are your recommendations based on what the DNR has put forward in terms of a process for the Community Grants Program? What would you suggest that we do statutorily to make sure that integrity is there? And they provided some terrific guidance to us, and we took those recommendations, and we're bringing them forward to you in the LCCMR today for your consideration. And I believe that we're gonna be a model going forward when we do have an idea, hey, we really want to work on one thing or the other. We need to be, again, proactive, and we're doing that today. One of the great things about this new community grant program, and in a bipartisan way, we came to agreement and found an opportunity together to work on something that really shouldn't be ignored in Minnesota, and that's aging infrastructure, specifically trails. And I've used examples all over the state during committee talking about trails that are falling into disrepair. It's always fun. It's very sexy to talk about a new project and a new point or opportunity for families to visit, and mine included. We like getting out there and enjoying all of those things. But sometimes the pavement or the dirt in some cases, and there can be washouts, there can be a lot of maintenance that has been missed. And through this new community grants program, you can apply for a grant up to $2 million to get help to bring that back to its original splendor, if you want to put it that way. Pavement may not be that exciting, but when you're potentially going to be hurt or a kid might fall into a pothole, you really appreciate that a trail has been maintained versus the alternative. So I wanted to highlight that for members and ask for your support today. I think we have a pretty good bill before you. A lot of work has gone into the selection of projects, and I would encourage a green vote.
Any further discussion? I recognize the member from Hennepin, Representative Jordan.
Vote green really fast so we can go play outside.
There being no further discussion, the clerk will take the roll. Members, please vote. The clerk will call the name of the members voting remotely.
Green.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Julie.
Green, aye.
Green votes aye. McDonald. McDonald.
Yes. McDonald, yes.
McDonald votes aye. Momani Hiltzley.
Momani Hiltzley, aye.
Momani Hiltzley votes aye. Perez Vega.
Perez Vega, aye.
Perez Vega votes aye.
The clerk will close the roll. There being 117 yeas and 15 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to.